This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It sure is great having you join me here in these online lessons. This is lesson 19 in this mini course that's all about fingerpicking chords. I love fingerpicking chords, and you probably do too, or you'd like to learn how. So here we are, and in this lesson I'm going to go over the Travis pick. So a fingerpicking pattern that has been named the Travis pick. With this one we're going to have to work on alternating our thumb. So far all we've done with the thumb is pluck the bass note of the chord. But in this lesson, I will introduce some movement of the thumb, and we're actually going to do that a lot as lessons progress through the rest of this mini course. So, go ahead and take a look at this pattern. With this one, I have capital letter P's and lowercase letter P's. So the capital letter P, when we see that, we're still going to pluck the bass note of the chord, or the lowest note of the chord with our thumb. That's going to be, for right now, on just the 6th or the 5th string. And then with the lowercase p, we're going to always pluck the 4th string. So regardless of what chord we're playing, we'll pluck that 4th string. So we have an uppercase, or capital letter P here, capital letter P here. So on beats 1 and 3. And then we have a lowercase p on beats 2 and 4. Of course, with our index finger, represented by the letter I, we'll always pluck the 3rd string. And then with our middle finger, we're going to always pluck the 2nd string. We're not going to use our ring finger for this plucking pattern. We start off with a quarter note value of a pinch, and we've done this before, where we're going to pluck the thumb and the middle finger together. So just those two. So on, say, an E minor chord or an E chord, I'm just going to pluck those two. 2nd string, and for the E, I'm going to pluck that low 6th string. So we're going to pluck those two together and let it ring. Then, for beat 2, we have to go to the 4th string with our thumb, and I'm just going to go to that E minor. It's actually going to be an E minor 7 chord while I do this, but so we're going to have the pinch, and then 4th string, and then the index. So 1 and 2, and you just want to get that down, getting that going just like that. So we're going to pinch and then thumb, index, and that 2nd thumb's going to always pluck the 4th string here. So pinch, thumb, index, and you just do that over and over. You can get it going a little bit faster. Then for the second half of the pattern, instead of doing a pinch, we're going to do them individually. So you're going to go thumb, middle, and then 4th string, thumb, index. So bass, middle, and then 4th string with the thumb, index. Just kind of get used to going back and forth with those. So the whole pattern, we have the pinch, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. And our thumb has to skip over from the 6th string to the 4th string. Now I'm going to put on an E major chord. Instead of that E minor, or E minor 7. Just kind of get that going. You can do it a little bit slower if you need to. Thumb. And then you just want to work it up faster as you get going. On the E chord, for our chord progression for this lesson, we're going to do E, A, and B7. Those are the 3 chords that we'll be using. So you can practice it on A. For A, our initial thumb pluck of the bass note is going to be that 5th string, and then we're still going to alternate with the 4th string on beats 2 and 4. So on beats 1 and 3, we will hit the 5th string for the A and the 6th string for the E, but the 5th string for the A, and then we're always going to hit that 4th string on beats 2 and 4. So A, get comfortable playing that on the A chord. This is such a great pattern. practice it with B7. With B7, we're also going to use the 5th string for our bass note, and then the 4th string on beats 2 and 4. So for our thumb. So then we can go ahead and play this chord progression that I've got written up here on the board. We'll do 2 measures per chord as we get going. So we'll have 2 on E, 2 on A, 2 on E, 2 on B7, 2 on E, 2 on A, 2 on B7, 2 on E. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, and we have E. We'll do E again. A. Back to E. And B7. There. Let's try taking it a little bit faster. So you'd have out there. You got 1, 2, ready, and like that. Now let's do it 1 time per chord. So go 1, 2, ready, and E. Now you can plug this pattern into any song that's in 4/4 time. If you had 2 chords per bar, you just use the first half for the first chord and the second half for the second chord, or you could use the first half twice. First half for the first chord, first half for the second chord. If I did the first half for the first chord and the second half for the second chord, and I worked through this with half a measure per chord, I would have or if I use just the first half twice, now this pattern really overlaps with the banjo technique, the way that the 5-string banjo is played in bluegrass and country music with plucking. And it actually is named after Merle Travis, who was a singer-songwriter way back. And so the country, sort of bluegrassy tradition, he was from Kentucky, sort of that kind of sound done on guitar. It also could have been influenced a little bit by ragtime, which had a lot of this kind of alternate moving in the bass note with plucking of the chords and so on. Could have sort of been influenced by that sound that then came and was played on guitar in sort of the country, folk, bluegrassy kind of tradition. So, great finger-picking pattern. You might notice that from the last lesson, so in lesson 18, where we were doing one where we had the thumb and the ring finger pinching, and then going index, middle, thumb, ring, index, middle, that if we were to bring our 3 fingers and instead of plucking the 3rd, 2nd, and top strings, if we brought those in, so we got out of standard positioning and had the index always pluck the 4th string, the middle always pluck the 3rd string, and the ring always pluck the 2nd string, and we played a chord, the exact same notes with different fingers. do, and I was just doing that on a C chord, if we played this one as we were today. So there's more than one way to get this sound, but either one works. So we're doing the Travis pick, which is a favorite. It's used in a lot, and you can use it in any songs in 4/4 time. In the next lesson, though, we have a challenge with using this pattern as is. And that is that if we're going to run into any chord that is only on the top 4 strings, this doesn't work the way we have it set up. So we're going to look at transferring that to other strings in the next one. And I'll just say the pattern from the previous lesson works best when we're playing chords where we want our index, middle, and ring on those top 3 strings. And then the Travis pick works great when we want those inside strings to be played. That's sort of how I usually choose to do it. Okay, so that wraps us up for this lesson. I hope you're having fun. In the next lesson, in lesson 20, we'll work on transferring the Travis pick to other string sets so we can play it for chords that are only on the top 4 strings as well. We'll see you then. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com.